Welcome to Whiskers, the podcast that brings you inside the Northwestern women's soccer team. I'm Quinn Aram, a player here at Northwestern.
And I'm Ava Gooden, another player joined by my co-host, assistant coach Rich Manning. We're here to take you behind the scoreboard and into the stories of the people who make this program what it is. Today's episode is part of our support staff speed dating series, where we spotlight the incredible staff working behind the scenes to keep the team performing at its best. And today, we're joined by someone every player gets to know pretty well. Our athletic trainer is Stef Zavala, known by us as Stef. Stef has been with Northwestern for about a year now and is the person making sure we stay healthy, recover from injuries, and get back on the field safely. Thank you, Stef. And now, let's get into it. So, Stef, for people who might not know, what exactly does an athletic trainer do for a sports team?
Yeah, so an athletic trainer, typically the best way I always describe it is, so they're medical professionals and they're responsible for the healthcare and the wellness of a team. However, that can also just be a patient population in a clinic. Some do work in warehouses. However, I do think that primarily people know athletic trainers as probably working in universities, in colleges, and in high schools. So for athletic training, the best way in which I like to describe it, especially for those that may not be as aware, is if you look at games, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, or we just had the Winter Olympics. When something happens, such as an injury, those are typically the people that go out and help out with that injury.
What got you started as an athletic trainer?
Yeah, so in high school, I played 3 different sports, but
What were they?
There were volleyball. Of course, I was libero. I was a little short. I couldn't be out there being a middle blocker.
But also the most important position.
Yes,
True.
so fun fact, my parents are primarily Spanish speaking. And so when they would come to my volleyball games, because the libero has a different uniform, I told them that I was captain. And they believed me the whole entire time that's why I had a different uniform.
Wow.
So, yeah, and to this day, it's one of the most funny stories
They know now. It was you revealed it.
Now they know, yeah. So I did volleyball, I did cross country, and then I did soccer. And particularly with soccer, as we know, there's a lot of ankle and foot injuries. And so I was one of those unfortunate beings that just sprained my ankles all the time. And there was just one that, I just couldn't get back and couldn't get better. We did see our athletic trainer there in my high school. And it wasn't until she essentially told me, hey, if you don't actually do your rehab, you may need surgery on this. And so, I'm just a high school athlete that loves to play these sports, but I'm if I don't come in every day, it'll be okay. At this point, I've come back from ankle sprains. It's going to be fine if I don't do everything as I'm being told to do so. And it wasn't until, again, this specific ankle injury wasn't getting better and I was informed about the potential risk of at some point needing surgery that I think my athletic trainer and I got really close, and I decided to finally lock in and say, I need to get better. And if it wasn't for her, I do think that, I probably wouldn't have appreciated healthcare professionals that do things like this, whether it's a PT, an OT, ATs, there's a reason why they do what they do.
And we're going to give a shout out. What's this athletic trainer's name?
So her name is Liz.
Hi, Liz. Thank you for everything.
Thank you,
Yes,
Liz. You
thank
were the
you.
best, especially in high school when, you're just trying to figure things out. So
Man.
yeah, so she's still at Joliet Central. She's actually amazing. She's a wrestler as well. So she
does it all.
Yeah, she would do
Some
sculpt
strong
yoga with us.
Strong ankle taping.
She is, so she was amazing. So shout out to you, Liz.
Yeah, shout out Liz. Well, we're in the off season right now, Steph. So what does a typical practice day look like for you?
So a typical practice day, I usually come in around 8 or 9, depending on if the team has lift. So I just try to catch up on either documentation in that meantime while the team is lifting, and or at some point just check in with, LP or strength coach to see how everybody's doing from a lifting end of things. And then after that, it's usually just treatments throughout the day. 12, we have our coaches meeting. So we just go over the training plan. what modifications we have for certain cats, and then back to more treatments. We have right now currently training around like late evening. So what we would do is just pre-practice training, which involves taping, any sort of treatments that people may need. And then once we get to training, it's the fun part. Rich and I had a great day yesterday with training. I had around, I would say, 5 people returning to play. So they were doing different return to play sessions throughout the session while Rich was leading the rest of the group. So I would say that's the fun part too out of the job, like being very involved in practice from that perspective. And after that, it's just recovery, cool down, see what the team needs, whether it's Thermex, whether it's tubs, and just checking in to make sure everybody's still doing okay.
Yeah. Well, good timing because we play tomorrow. In contrast, what does a typical game day look like for you?
Yeah, so a game day, I would say, depends on what time it is, right? But usually for us doing afternoon tomorrow, I like to come in around maybe like 10 and just set up the field to make sure that we have hydration set. So water, our Gatorade. We also have we call it our red bags, our emergency bag, our crutches. So those are the things that we always hope not to need. But as athletic trainers, we always try to prep for any sort of emergency case scenario. So that's the time where I would prep for that. Come back. Usually we do pre-game treatments and then just see how everybody's feeling, everybody's bodies are feeling. And from there, it's just really just trying to get everybody ready to get going, taping. And then once we get started, again, most fun part of the day, just checking in with everybody and our dietitian with, what do we need from a fueling end of things? What do our bodies need to recover? And on Sundays, post game, it's just, what do people need from me for those that have to check in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Steph, time flies because you've been here just about a year now. What has the transition to Northwestern been like, especially compared to past schools you were at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been great. I love the fact that my parents are about 2 hours from here. So that was a huge positive in just being able to drive down over the weekend. So I think that aspect is really nice. Still being involved in my little brother's life too. We're 10 years apart. So it's huge being with him here versus, like a teenager that's just us okay and doesn't text you back. So it's definitely a positive. I loved just the collaboration that I have with my peers here. We very much have the mindset of growth and what else can we do to just, increase the satisfaction of our student athletes and our care that we provide. And then last but not least, just the team, right? I think the coaches and I at this point have found a really good system that works for us when it comes to communication, as well as the athletes, right? There's always people coming and going, but just within the year, it's been great to really just get to know each and one of you and just learn different personalities and how I can best work with those.
Yeah. What's something athletes or even people in general don't always realize about the work athletic trainers do behind the scenes?
Great question. So behind the scenes, I would say there's 2 different components to it. There's the administration part, which is the documentation, right? So for every time that we treat an athlete, we are writing a note on said athlete. And the reason as to why that's important is because we want to make sure that we can keep track of time and not just what we're doing with the athlete, but the progression of said athlete's injury. And if I were to need to take time away, or if someone's else just covering for me and they have no idea, right, what I've done, and I don't have the documentation to provide for that, then that would kind of not help in that transition of said person needing to collaborate or treat my team. And so that, I would say, takes a lot of time, especially depending on the amount of injuries that we have within the team. There's always documentation, and that's usually on the weekends what I try to catch up on if I'm not caught up on, which usually I'm not. I would say that's one part. And then the other piece would be the prepping for rehabs. I think every AT is a little different. The way I like to tackle my treatments is I think it's easier when the student athlete can just come in and have a plan set. Right? I think sometimes ATs decide to just check in with the athlete and then decide right there and then what they're going to do. Especially if it's a long-term injury, I think it's better to have said plan ready for the week or at least for the day if you can. And I think that preparation also takes time, right? So usually in season, or even now in off season, Sundays are usually my prep days and my catching up on notes days. So just being really intentional with making sure that everyone's progressions individually are matching what they need. And so I would say those two pieces kind of take a little bit of time that I don't know if everybody, is aware of. But
Yeah. Well, we chatted about this question a bit off air, so I'm interested to see if your answers change. But are there any new trends or innovations in the sports realm that you're excited about?
yeah, so I feel like there's a lot of things that are always changing, especially in the healthcare world. I think one of I would say, I don't know if it's so new recently. This is very specific, but one of the domains that we have within athletic training is emergency care, right? One of those things that, again, we hope to not ever have to need and use. However, we want to prepare for that. And I don't know if you guys have heard about it. There's a Lucas machine. That's what it's called, actually. So at some point, coaches, right, even like athletes get trained in CPR and first aid. And we know the 30 compressions, the 2 breaths, right? We're trained in that. And a lot of times, especially for staff that are working with athletic teams, we have to get certified after every couple years for that. And so currently there's this new machine, or it's been a couple years at least, where we know that depending on how long someone's in cardiac arrest, we may have to be doing those compressions and breaths for who knows how long. And so that can play into some fatigue, which we wouldn't want when you're doing CPR. And so this machine actually is doing it for you, and you can set it up for different people's body types. And so that while you're assessing, whether it's blood pressure, whether it's respirations, whether it's circulation, like all of that, you can be doing while someone else is giving CPR. So that I think is pretty cool. And the fact that we actually have been able to use that, I've heard from some of my previous colleagues and other colleges, to take care of someone when in the case of emergency, I think is something huge for healthcare.
Yeah.
So someone is doing the compressions for you. That's someone being a machine.
Yeah.
Would that be available for when I want to go jogging and I have a hard time breathing?
Oh, Rich.
Rich, I think it'd be a little heavy for stuff to just carry around while you're
We
jogging.
have to work on making it a little more
I
portable.
know we have to make something portable.
Yes.
Travel size.
Whoever's listening to this, make sure it's
Yes,
travel
all you
size.
tech people.
That's how we make it. You had that idea. It was
Patent it right now.
patent it right now before
I'm
anyone
the
else
idea
does.
person.
Yeah. So I would say that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, Steph, as we know in this office, athletic trainers spend a lot of time with the players. How do you go about building trust with the team?
Building trust with a team, and this has been my philosophy since I was even a student, is treat your athletes as people first and athletes second. I think that really, over time, I'm not saying that would happen within your first week at a new job, but I think that really helps develop trust with your team. Just knowing that at the end of the day, yes, we all want you to return back to your sport, but what I will always put forward is you as a person and you as a human being. So I think that's been my philosophy for a while, that I think really helps when it comes to just building trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Steph, I would say athletes usually want to come back as soon as possible when they're injured. Not that I would know. How do you balance?
Not Ava.
Not Ava.
No.
She just loves being out.
How do you go about balancing their perspective with also the objective testing and just the general medical side when making these return to play decisions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's another great question. So I think there's a reason why we have objectivity, right? I think it's really easy to be able to say, hey, you look great just by looking at you, with doing your exercises, with running, with change of direction, with back into soccer activities. But I think if we don't have those objective metrics to have as a standard, then I think that really just puts us at a level of disservice to our student athletes, because at that point, we're risking re-injury, we're risking the fact that they may have potentially healed from said injury, but then come back because we didn't look at everything. And so I think balancing their perspectives includes, first off, just listening to them. At the end of the day, they are the patient, they are the student athlete that's going through the injury. And as much as I can say, I understand, I really don't. So I think it's good to take into perspective, how does the athlete feel in each step of their process? What can I do to give them the facts, the objective measures that we're trying to get to, but also listening to them and letting them know that I'm on their side and we're doing everything we can to progress them as fast as we can, but also as safely as we can. And I think that also comes back to trust, right? The relationship that you build over time. It can get difficult, especially if a progression isn't always linear. But I think just the fact that you're able to listen to their concerns and their questions and educate them on if we're doing something, why we're doing it, I think that really comes a long way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rich, it's your time to shine now.
All right.
Yeah.
It's time, folks. You know the time. It's rapid fire time. Stef's in the hot seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. First thing on these ones, it's the first thing that comes in your head.
Okay.
Rapid
Got it.
response.
Okay. No pressure.
Rapid fire, rapid response.
Okay.
And you have a drink with you this morning.
I do.
What is your favorite coffee or tea drink?
Latte.
From Dunkin'.
No, not from Dunkin'.
Oh, well, you have a Dunkin' drink with you this morning.
I do have a Dunkin'.
Okay, so
This is CJ's fault, if she's listening.
Oh, I know.
Dunka latte.
Yeah.
Dunka latte.
She mentioned that in her rapid fire on the last podcast.
Yes.
Latte. She was telling me actually it felt like a year. Finally tried it and now I'm obsessed with it. But Dunkin', no.
But latte.
But the latte, Dunka latte for sure.
Okay.
That's the one I would do if I do anything at Dunkin'.
Do you have a favorite place in Evanston for coffee or tea, for your lattes, let's say?
Yes. I forgot the name. What's the blue? All of our
Backlot?
team, Backlot. Yeah, Backlot's the usual go-to.
Shout out Backlot.
Shout out Backlot.
And you live in Chicago.
I do.
What's your favorite restaurant or food place?
That's Yellowtail, the sushi place. It's absolutely outstanding. And
Okay.
it used to be within walking distance for me. I moved now, but it's so good.
Shout out Yellowtail. Sponsorships available from Stef.
Yes.
What is one thing you love about Northwestern?
I love the family-oriented feeling of just truly feeling like a team rather than just saying we're a team.
Love that. I'm assuming this would be the same answer. Why do you love the women's soccer team?
The women's soccer team, especially here, is genuinely one of the most fun groups I've worked with. Their energy, their want to get better is truly inspiring.
Ooh, hard to top that one. I don't know.
I know.
What is something, Ava's blushing at that.
She's talking about me.
What is something non-sports related that you're secretly very good at?
Painting. I used to paint every day in high school and in college.
Wow. Do you have a favorite type of painting?
I mean, I would do a lot of different canvases that were gradient-like, if that makes sense. A lot of like skies, a lot of like mountain view, like just landscapes. Yeah, so I used to do that for a while. I have kind of fallen off of that, but
We need to get back. My office has bare walls. We need to fill it up.
yeah, Rich definitely needs
We need some color.
some decor.
Over the summer, we did a team bonding Bob Ross like video and paint on like canvases.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he would have blew us out of the water
Yeah.
based on
Well,
the
Yeah.
results.
Okay.
Bring her.
I don't know,
She's
but-
a ringer.
That's fine.
Next time invite me.
Yeah.
What is, if you could work for one professional sports team, what would it be? Which team would it be?
One professional sports team. Ooh, I mean, it's hard because I really love Chicago, and so I could
So
say
one
the
of-
Red Stars. So I mean, just for the simplicity of rapid fire,
We're going to say
I'm gonna say the Red Stars.
the Red Stars
however-
/ now the Stars.
Yes.
Okay. Don't steal her from us.
Please.
What is the most unusual injury you've had to treat?
Unusual injury? I mean, there's been a lot of different kinds. I wouldn't say it's unusual in that we couldn't figure out an answer. It's just someone had a lot of deep blisters that wouldn't heal over time.
Oh my
And
gosh.
developed into a MRSA infection.
Painful.
Painful, very painful.
Ugh.
So, yeah, that
Okay,
took a while.
hopefully that never happens again.
To anyone.
We, as in the three of us, we all know and love Willie the Wildcat.
We do.
What would be your personal mascot
You're saying for me or
for you?
in general? So this is my high school mascot, and I thought it was silly at the time, but now I think it's cool. We used to be the Steelmen. So if you think, I think about it of like a transformer, sort of,
Yeah.
but it's steel. And so I think that's actually a
really
great,
cool.
that's actually a great
Yeah.
mascot now looking back. But I think essentially to me that just simplifies someone that you can get through anything, right? There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. But at the end of the day, you're made of steel and you know that there's going to be another day the next day. So
The Steelman. We need a painting of the Steelman.
The canvas.
One word to describe Northwestern soccer.
This was the hardest thing because I feel like there's so many positive things you can say about
Oh,
it.
you have to pick one.
I'm going to say dazzling.
Wow, I'm dazzled by that answer.
Me
That is a
too.
fantastic word. We love that.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Time to close
we're
out.
closing out. We're in the home stretch. Ava?
Well, before we go, Steph, what advice would you give to someone who wants to follow in your footsteps and become an athletic trainer?
I would say, be confident. If there's a reason why you want to become an AT, go for it, give it your all, take your clinicals very seriously. That's, when you come in and are fully immersed into working under a certified athletic trainer. And that's when you get to build great relationships, right, Ava? You remember one of our last students, like you can really grow into that position, not just in your skills, but also in getting to know your athletes. And so just take advantage of the clinicals that you have.
Shout out Daniel.
Shout out, Daniel. We miss you.
Miss Daniel.
Yeah.
Well, very final question. If you could give athletes one tip to help them stay healthy, what would it be? Just one thing.
Your body's a temple. Just do one thing a day that treats your body. And it doesn't have to be, I have to spend 20 minutes on stretching. It's just take 5 minutes, right? One thing. What is it that would make you feel better, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally?
Boom.
Well said.
Mic drop.
Right.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
This was fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming,
Thank
Steph.
you so
We had a
much,
great
Steph.
time.
Yes, it was
We
great.
always finish with a ciao. So, everybody, until next time, ciao.